The scholarship that I am on gives me the airfare to travel to the UK, pays my tuition fee, gives me a stipend. They also pay for my books and they pay for my clothing, they pay for my food, and they also pay for my accommodation. You practically study and they pay you to study. Hello everyone, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Dipali and I do a fully funded scholarship in the UK, and I've got a lot of questions asking me how I got this scholarship, what all I did, where all I applied, and how you can also get a scholarship in the UK, a fully funded one, wherein your expenses are taken care of. So I did my university from Jesus Mary College, Delhi University, and I completed 2023. After that, I worked for a year at PwC India in marketing. And while I was working at PwC, it has only been like 4 months. It was all going great. I was loving my job, but I knew that somehow I wanted to do a master's in marketing. I was very sure that I wanted to do something in marketing. And I was looking at university options for marketing. So I looked in India as well. I looked at Mecca of marketing in India. I looked at other colleges like ISB as well, and I was very sure that I wanted to go in any of the two colleges. So I started preparing for GMAT, but then due to a personal incident, I got through an accident, and then I was like, do I really want to stay in India? Like, is it something that I want to do my master's in India? Because when I was growing up, I always thought that I'll do my master's abroad, but then my plan somehow shifted. And that was an introspective point for me. And at that point, I decided that no, I want to do it in abroad only. And I dropped my GMAT, and then I started looking for universities abroad. I saw courses in marketing. I shortlisted LSE. I shortlisted LAFRA for sports management, sports marketing. So this was a domain I was really interested in. Then while searching courses, I used to get the videos like fully funded scholarship. I literally used to see these videos, but there was no particular video that told me the process or anything. So I told my counselor, are those scholarships really there? And my counselor was like, no, it's not. It's just not practical. Master students don't really get fully funded scholarships. It's generally for PhDs. But then I was like, no, I've seen it. So that's where my quest began. What I did was I started making an Excel sheet wherein I wrote all my courses, what I wanted to do, sports marketing, all the unis alongside that. And then beside that, I also wrote if any university specific scholarship is there or not. I made a complete Excel sheet for myself. I used to come back from work, track that Excel sheet, make it every day diligently. I used to track all the courses, timelines of applying, and this is all I did it around July. And then there are two types of scholarships. So it's a university specific scholarship and a government specific. That's when I got to know while I was searching. So it's like a personal journey. I searched the entire internet. I got to know there are two types of scholarship. I jotted down in the Excel sheet as well. So September was the time when I was all ready for applying. I got my personal statements, I got my academic transcripts from my unis, and I made it a point for my professors to write me a LOR highlighting that I was in the top 1% of my class. So that one statement literally made my acceptance into all unis. So when my counselor went on applying to universities, there wasn't even a single university that didn't select me. So be it LSE, be it LAFRA, I was selected in all. So I got my acceptance from all. So first you apply, you get a position, and then you apply for scholarship. So when I got the offer letters from everything, I was very sure that I wanted to go to LSE, but LSE didn't have a scholarship. Even university scholarship wasn't there. It was like a 10% scholarship, but I was very sure I wanted a fully funded scholarship. So in my list, I had 3 government scholarships, which was Felix, Commonwealth, and Schevening, and university specific scholarship for one, which was LAFRA's 90% scholarship. I also had an inlaks scholarship, but I didn't apply to that. That was a government specific scholarship as well. So I was like, I might as well apply to every one of it. So I applied for Schevening. For Schevening, you need like a 2-year work ex. So I didn't qualify for that. So I think I got rejected. That's why. Then I applied for Commonwealth. For Commonwealth, I did make to the interview round, but then I didn't get selected after the interview. Then I applied for Felix as well, which I am a currently scholar. And I also applied to LAFRA's 90% scholarship. I was invited for the interview, but I didn't go to the interview because I was already a Felix scholar by then. So I was like, there's no point of me attending the interview and wasting the panelist time and my time as well. So let me tell you about the Felix scholarship, because if I tell you about every other scholarship, then the video will be too long. But I assure you, I'll bring videos on specific scholarships which you can get. For Felix scholarship, I was just surfing around Google and I got FelixScholar, and he was like, I do a fully funded master's, which also pays me my stipend to stay in the UK. And I was like, wow, you practically study and they pay you to study. So I was very intrigued by it. So the scholarship that I am on gives me the airfare to travel to the UK, pays my tuition fee, gives me a stipend every 3 months to sustain in the UK, and the stipend is way above the living wage. Every year it increases. Then they also pay for my books, and they pay for my clothing, they pay for my food, and they also pay for my accommodation. So everything is included, and I literally end up saving a lot of money out of the stipend that I get. It's very lucrative, honestly, and I'm very grateful for the scholarship. Now the point being how I applied. So as I said, I applied in December while I was filling the form for my Reading University for food economics and marketing this time. I knew that the University of Reading had a Felix scholarship. So I made a point of filling the scholarship form as well. The scholarship form was very basic. It asked me my name, what I do, my previous experience, all about me. And it asked me what I will do if I get the scholarship. I would really like to emphasize the point that all these scholarships, the government funded ones, want you to know that how will you help India when you come back, because all these government sponsored scholarships have a clause that after your course you have to come back to India. You can't apply for PSW because obviously they want you to come back to India and help them to grow. So I made sure that when I wrote all my personal statements, I got it vetted from previous scholars. So I connected with all of the scholars on LinkedIn, be it Commonwealth Scholars, Evening Scholar, and I literally, I had so sweet scholars message me by reading all my entire statement. And one of the Commonwealth Scholar gave me a feedback that the reason you didn't get selected with the Commonwealth Scholarship interview, because my Commonwealth Scholarship interview was before my Felix Scholarship interview. So he told me that the reason you didn't get selected was because you don't have a linkage with what you'll do when you come back. You're always highlighting that this is what you will do, what you will flourish in your career, but you never emphasize on what will you do when you come back to India, how will you help India, and why should they pay you. And this was like a aha moment for me, and I literally changed all my application, I changed all my interview preparation. And when I went to the Felix interview, it was a devastating thing for me because the interviewer was so hard on me. He literally told me to a point that you don't have much knowledge, you should read more books. And I was like 100% sure that I'm not getting the scholarship, but I did end up getting it. So even if you get into the interview stage, it is gruesome experience. You will feel that they'll not select you, but I think the panelists see something in you. So I'll make a separate video of what was covered in the interview, because I think right now it's more about the application, because we are already in May and we want to just roll out the application, prepare for our application, because it's a very lengthy process. It took me 6 months to gather all my documents to make my SOP literally stand out. It's a very long process. You have to write down everything. And one more point I would say is ask your teachers to in your LORs to be very specific. So for example, if you got lesser marks in mathematics, business mathematics, your teacher can highlight that the student was very diligent and his marks in Sem 1 was this, but then due to his constant tutorial meetings with me, he or she had a zeal to come to the lectures. The marks upgraded to A+, something like that. Build it as a storytelling so that the panelists know that yes, this student has some potential. I wasn't the topper, but yes, I was in the top 10 of my class. But again, it all matters for your extracurriculars, your academics, and what the zeal to contribute to India when you come back. These 3 things are the most important in your application. You have to be very specific. You have to be very specific in your storytelling. You have to show them that you will help the country when you come back. And that brings me to the next point. If you get a government scholarship, you have to come back to your country. So if you're someone who's looking to stay in the UK, please don't apply for government specific scholarships. Go for university specific scholarships, which are like 50% scholarships, 10%, or like 90%. Because university specific scholarships that I have seen are majorly 90% max, which I also was getting, but I didn't go forward for it because it didn't cover my stipend and everything else, which Felix does. And I was more inclined to this because I just liked Reading more. It's very peaceful. It's just very far away from up north, and it just feels like home here. And I was personally very biased to not staying in London with the hustle bustle. I wanted something very quieter because I was like, I might as well work there rather than study there. So I get best of the both of the worlds. But it's personally, it depends on you. But if you want to stay in the UK for long term, please don't apply for government scholarships because you have to go back to your country. That being said, January is the deadline for Felix Scholarship. Commonwealth is October. Commonwealth and Chevening scholarships have deadline in October, but Felix has a deadline in January. I remember 31st December, I was still correcting my application because 1st or 2nd January was the deadline. And make sure that you always pick the country first before applying for the scholarship. So you can't just be all way around. So when I get the queries, they are like, what are the scholarships for Canada, Australia, UK? You can't possibly find scholarships in all countries. You have to pick a country and then go deep dive into it. First, decide a country. I would always say that, yes, I was very clear in my head. I only want to do a master's in UK, not Australia, not New Zealand, not any other XYZ country. So you have to make sure that, yes, this is the country I want to do my master's in, and then start searching scholarships. I was confused between Australia and UK, but then I realized that I can't be confused if I want a fully funded scholarship. So I dropped Australia and I just focused on UK. Being on a fully funded scholarship is just not about the money. I have highlighted this a lot of times. It's literally much more than that. I get the alumni network. Whenever I see someone, they get really fascinated that I am studying on a fully funded scholarship. I must have something special in me. You get a very good network with alumni, with the teachers and professors as well. And it's just a very surreal, and I feel very special here because this helps you stand out of the crowd in every way possible. So yeah, that's it for the video. So if you have any questions, you can ask me that on my Instagram handle, wherein I'm more active, or you can also comment down below in the YouTube video, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. If you want the spreadsheet as well, you can DM me on Instagram and I will send you the spreadsheet of all the government and UK specific scholarships available. Reiterating it again, if you have any questions, please don't forget to DM me on Instagram, and I'll be coming up with more videos based on your questions. If you want a video on interview process or on a specific scholarship, I can make a video on that as well, but you will have to DM me and tell me what you want to see. I used to make YouTube videos long back, and I stopped it like 2 years ago, but it's just a part of me. I love making videos, and no harm of coming back again to shooting. So yeah, so don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and send it to any of your friends who wants to come to the UK or wants to get a fully funded scholarship. I'll see you in the next one. I completed it in 2020. Really hot in the UK right now, but I don't know why I started yapping. So yeah, that's.
Free to ask them either on my Instagram or in the comment section.
So yeah, that's it for the video. So if